Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Jesse with Connects High Performance, and today I'm going to discuss a very important topic for any athlete looking to be bigger, stronger, faster, and probably the most important quality in sports, more powerful. So let's get into it. High-level sports absolutely requires athletes to engage in strength training. Most athletes understand that the big compound exercises like squats, deads, bench, and rows are staples in good training programs. But how we execute these lifts, repetition to repetition, are what makes the difference between making a fast and powerful athlete versus a slow and unathletic one. To become a fast and powerful athlete, you need to train in a way that maximizes the recruitment of your high threshold motor units. High threshold motor units, or HTMUs, innervates a lot more fibers than low threshold motor units, or LTMUs. We're talking generally several hundreds to several thousands of fibers for HTMUs versus LTMUs, which typically number from only a few to a couple hundred fibers. In addition to that, HTMUs are comprised almost exclusively with fast twitch muscle fibers versus the slow twitch muscle fibers found in LTMUs. Now, before we can talk about how to train specifically to maximize HTMUs, let's talk about Henneman's size principle. Basically, the motor units are recruited from smallest to largest based on the increasing force demands of a muscle contraction. For example, picking up your water bottle primarily recruits your LTMUs. But if you pick up heavier things, you begin to fire up those HTMUs. Now, it's important to understand there isn't a hard or definitive cutoff percentage for when HTMUs are recruited versus LTMUs. But generally speaking, lower percentages, say 50% or less of your 1RM, primarily recruits the LTMUs. Moderate percentages, between 50 to 75% of 1RM, is when we start to see a progressive recruitment of the HTMUs. Higher percentages, above 75% of 1RM, have the most significant recruitment of HTMUs. Near maximal and maximal efforts require the activation of the largest and most powerful motor units. So, you might be asking, how does recruiting more high threshold motor units make you faster and more powerful? Well, first, HTMUs innervate fast twitch muscle fibers. These fibers are designed for rapid and powerful contractions. They have a higher capacity for force production and faster contraction velocity compared to type 1 or slow twitch muscle fibers. Also, as I mentioned before, HTMUs innervate a large number of muscle fibers, and thus their activation results in a substantial force output. This high force output is essential for activities that require explosive movements such as sprinting, jumping, weightlifting, and plyometrics. HTMUs also play a significant role in rate of force development, allowing athletes to rapidly accelerate and produce explosive movements. This is critical in sports requiring movements like sprinting, jumping, hitting, or throwing. And finally, by recruiting HTMUs, athletes can increase both force and velocity, leading to a significant improvement in power output. This enhanced power translates to greater speed, agility, and explosiveness. Now, I know this can be a bit confusing, so let's talk quickly about how this applies in practice. In sprinting, to achieve maximum speed, a sprinter needs to generate high force against the ground in a short period of time. HTMUs are essential for producing the explosive push-off required for rapid acceleration. For jumping, horizontal and vertical jumps require a burst of power to propel the body forward or into the air. HTMUs enable athletes to generate the necessary force to achieve greater distances and height. Even throwing actions, like in baseball, demand a rapid and forceful transfer of energy. The initial stages of the throwing motion indeed involve building momentum, but the critical moment of release requires explosive power. HTMUs are essential for generating the high force and rapid contraction velocity needed to propel the object with maximum speed. In summary, to maximize your athletic potential, you need to prioritize training that recruits high threshold motor units. This means incorporating heavy lifting, explosive movements like plyometrics and Olympic lifts, and medicine ball throws, and focusing on generating high force outputs. By understanding and applying the size principle, you can optimize your training to become bigger, stronger, faster, and more powerful. So, there you have it. A look at the importance of high threshold motor unit recruitment. Remember, it's not just about lifting heavy, it's about how you lift heavy. Focus on explosive movements and maximizing force output to unlock your athletic potential. Now, if you want to know more about the fundamentals of sports performance training, click here. And if you found this information helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more content on sports performance. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.